All right, this lesson is basically some additional practice, right? What I encourage you to do for these problems is attempt the problem, check your answer. Complete the problem, check your answers. So that you guys know if you're doing it right or wrong and not spending time watching videos that you don't need to. So let's get busy. So the first example, right? If I look here, I have to find the value of x. And if I look at the two angles that are given to me, if I use the parallel lines, these are my parallel lines, this is my transversal, and if I notice, these are on same side of transversal, non-adjacent, one interior, one exterior, they're corresponding angles, so I know they're congruent, and if they are congruent, I set the measures equal to each other, and now I can solve for x. And x would equal 110 degrees. Next one, right now we don't know that these lines are parallel, but they want us to find the value of x that makes them parallel. So when I look, the relationship between these angles is their alternate exterior angles, which we know they're congruent. So 3x minus 2 is equal to 136. And now, when I solve for x, 3x equals 138. X is equal to 138 divided by 3. What is that going to be? 46. So x is 46. Example 3. When I look at these angles, right? These angles are same side interior angles. Therefore, if these angles are same side interior angles, I know they're supplementary, which means they add up to 180 degrees. So 7x plus 54 equals 180. Subtract 54, 180 minus 54 gives you 126. When you divide by 7, you would get x equals 18. Next, when I look at these angles, the relationship between them is their alternate interior. Therefore, 14 plus 3x equals 5x minus 66. Subtract 14 from both sides. Subtract 5x from both sides. It gives you negative 2x equals negative 80. And when you divide by negative 2, x is equal to 40. Example 5. These angles are corresponding angles, right? And what do we know about corresponding angles? Corresponding angles are congruent. So I set these measures equal to each other. Subtract 6 from both sides. 2x equals 34. Divide by 2. X is 17. When you look at number 6, they are telling you that this line and this line are parallel. This line is going to be your transversal. Some people may struggle with this problem because of the way it's drawn, but know and understand these two angles are on the same side of the transversal and they're both in between the line. Therefore, I know they are supplementary. So 5x plus 4x equals 180. 9x equals 180. Divide by 9. X is equal to 20. Now, here's where the problems start to pick up. Okay? So, the first example here. The one thing you have to know is you cannot find x or y directly using the 50-degree angle. But if this line is parallel to this line, and I use this as a transversal, notice here that this angle and this angle, right, if you ignore that middle line here, x and 70 are corresponding angles, which means they're congruent, so x is 70. Once I know x is 70, now What do all three of these angles have to add up to? Y plus 50 plus 70 has to add up to 180. Y plus 120 equals 180. Y is equal to 60. Example 8. When I look here, I know x and y here add up to 180, but then I have two variables and I can't solve. So if I look at the two angles with y, think about it this way. If this is y, these lines are parallel, and if I use this line as my transversal, they're on opposite sides of the transversal, but one is interior, one is exterior. So when I look at these, what I have to notice is if this is y because those are corresponding angles. Now what do those have to do? 3y plus y has to add up to 180. If 4y equals 180, right, what is y going to equal? 45. Once I know y is 45, now I can plug that back in. Now, x plus 45 equals 180. So what does x equal? 135. So, in this example, I would ignore this line here and know and understand that you're going to use this parallel line, this parallel line. Then you're going to use this transversal. And again, when I look at these angles, right, there's no relationship between them. But what I could do is say if this is 105, I know this is 105 because they're corresponding angles, right? And if they're corresponding angles, they're congruent. Now what do these two angles have to do? 3x minus 18 plus 105 equals 180. So 3x plus 105 minus 18 give you 87 equals 180. Subtract 87. 3x equals 93. And x would equal 31. All right, example 10. When I look here, 5x, 2x, no relationship, right? But if I look here, I know you have this angle here. So if I have this line, oops, these are parallel. And if I draw an arc in this angle, and I draw an arc in this angle, and I use this transversal, I know if that's 2x, this is 2x. Now what do 2x and 5x plus 40 have to do? They have to add up to 180. So 2x plus 5x plus 40 adds up to 180. 7x equals 140. X is equal to 20. Okay, I hope this helps. Complete the homework and let us know if you have questions.